Good morning. Here is your Montana monthly weather hazards briefing. Today is January 26th of 2017. I'm Morning Coordination Meteorologist Megan Seiner from the National Weather Service here in Great Falls. Well, let's first step back and let's do a recap of what December looked like. Much of the state encountered below average temperatures and some places well below average, as much as 8 degrees below average for parts of the state, especially across central and southeastern portions. And looking at precipitation, however, we were not too far off from where we should be in terms of precipitation. The only place that was really below average was across far north central Montana, where they were 1/1600ths of an inch below average for the month of December. If we fast forward into January, looking at storm reports across the state from the first half of January, we did have snow across portions of south central into eastern Montana, but the biggest story were the cold temperatures across western Montana and also the blizzard that occurred over Browning and East Glacier around the middle part of the month. So those were the two main weather hazards that affected a good portion of our area. Looking at temperature departure from average so far this January, much of the state continues to have below average temperatures, and it looks like that trend will continue as we go into the part of February. Zooming back into looking the water year of the 2017 water year so far, which began on October 1st of 2016. Temperatures across much of the state still below average. There are a couple exceptions across northeast Montana, also along the Continental Divide and into portions of south central Madison County. Precipitation near to below average for much of the state, even portions of far northwest Montana well below average for January so far. And if we look at the water year, however, conditions aren't looking as bad. We did have that really wet October, so I think that is affecting some of our precipitation values. So much of the state for the water year so far above average. Again, a couple exceptions in the Bitterroot, below average precipitation for the water year, and also across eastern Montana there's below average precipitation so far this water year. The snowpack, not a very good situation right now for some basins. Some basins are doing better than others, but still most basins are well below average in terms of snow water equivalent in the snowpack. That's the water content in the snow. And notice that the lowest right now is the Smith, Judith, and Musselshell Basin. They're 60% of average right now. And the one that's doing the best is the Upper Yellowstone. They're right around where they should be for this time of year. Also, this graph here in the lower right-hand corner, notice this bright red trend line, and that is what's actually happened so far this water year. The black line, the solid black line, is the median. So notice that red line is below what the average is for this time of year, and we have been below average for much of the season. And then these different colored lines are different projections of what could happen. So something we will continue to monitor as we go through the rest of the season and into spring. The latest drought monitor conditions have improved for many areas, especially across Lewis and Clark County. However, some moderate drought conditions persist along portions of the Continental Divide, especially in the Seeley Lake area. Still continue to have a moderate drought there, and also across portions of southeastern Montana. Looking over the next 7 days, what can we expect in terms of precipitation? Well, we are in a more quiet weather pattern right now. We'll have a couple of weather systems bringing some light snow to the area, especially across western Montana. That looks like the best chance for precipitation. In fact, across the eastern half of the state, there might not be any precipitation in these areas over the next 7 days. The mountains could see up to an inch of water over the next 7 days, so hopefully that'll help increase the water content in our snowpack. It does look like this quiet pattern is not going to last. As we go into the first part of February, we may be transitioning into a more active weather pattern once again. Temperatures projected to be below average, or there are better chances for below average temperatures and above average precipitation statewide for the next 2-week outlook. So hopefully that'll continue to help our snowpack and water as well. But then as we go into February, the rest of February, there really aren't any clear signatures of what temperatures or precipitation, if they will be near, below, or above average. The only exception to that is across eastern Montana, where there are some indications that precipitation may be wetter than average and temperatures may be cooler than average. So something we will continue to monitor through the next month. La Nina continues, but it continues to weaken. We have seen La Nina weakening all throughout this winter, so it looks like that trend's continuing. Signatures as we go out into the future, maybe by August through October timeframe, looks like we'll be more in an ENSO neutral phase. What that means is we won't be in either a La Nina or an El Nino pattern. And then I want to talk about just a note about ice jams. We are entering the season where ice jams will become much more common. If you notice any ice jams developing or any flooded that could be related to an ice jam, please let us know, or any of your respective National Weather Service offices know that that is happening. And lastly, I want to leave you with some really cool images from GOES 16. They've released their first high-resolution images, and from my perspective, they're pretty cool. This is one of the global, and then the 16 panel here is actually showing the same snapshot, but showing different things. So now with these different channels, we can see different things. We can differentiate clouds versus moisture, or we can differentiate smoke from ice, those sorts of things. So it'll allow us to get more of a bigger picture of what's happening in our atmosphere. So that's pretty cool. And I have a link down there if you want to learn more or see more cool images. Well, thank you for watching. If you have any questions or feedback about how we can improve this briefing, please give us a call, give me a call, send me an email, and I would gladly make any changes that you would like to see. And then if you have any further questions about this briefing, please contact any of the 4 Montana offices as well. Thank you for watching.